Swallowed Star. Palace Level 3. Luo Feng, who was dressed in the bronze armor, swiftly left the training room and exited the palace entrance. To the huge pit quarters. Luo Feng looked up in the sky at the red killing aura that was revolving, and he rushed into the sky. So. The huge pit was very deep. Luo Feng continued to fly upwards. 97. 97. Two voices resounded in his mind, causing him to stop and float in mid-air. To be able to detect him without him even knowing, other than Baku within the palace and Qi Nyo, only the two captains of the Blood God Guards would be able to do it. Luo Feng looked around and floated there, replying respectfully. Captain, Vice Captain. 97. Where are you heading to train? A thick voice resounded around him. Captains, for the past 2 years, I have been training in a cave along the mountain wall above. Luo Feng explained. Hence, I'm prepared to head there. 97. This high-altitude region is mine and number 2's jurisdiction. The voice continued. You'll be safer training below. Of course, the Lord has ordered that no one is to leave more than 100,000 kilometers away. You can go to your cave quarters, however we cannot observe and guarantee your safety. The two captains of the Blood God Guards were sector lords. The two of them released their world energy around to scan. While training they naturally maintained their surveillance, however their range was limited. The moment there's danger, I will come down immediately. Luo Feng said respectfully. Since you insist, then go on. Right. Luo Feng bowed respectfully and immediately rushed into the sky. Deep in the huge pit, within the platforms of uneven walls on the side of the mountains, there was a tall and sturdy bronze-armored silhouette sat crossed-legged. This 97 is extremely gifted, and the Lord favors him too. However, the most important thing to becoming a Blood God Guard is loyalty. Number 2, from what I see, this 97 hasn't completely submitted to the Lord yet. Number 1. You are right. If and once we find enough evidence we'll kill him. The two sector lords at a distance of 10,000 kilometers, communicated and made decisions. Even though the group of Blood God Guards treated him well, they were still ultimately most loyal to the Blood God Ba Qi. Loyalty and strength couldn't be lacking at all. And Luo Feng obviously hadn't received the recognition of the group of guards yet, especially the two sector lords, who had special privileges. They always observed the other guards, and had the right to punish them. Ancient God ruins, huge pit quarters. A green light pierced through the cave, following which it condensed. It was the bronze-armored Luo Feng. He sat on a stone chair excitedly. Luo Feng smiled, he flipped his hand. In his palm a space ring and a black stone appeared. This black stone was the Masha transformed body, the space ring held within it, the 15 Blood River crystals. He had acquired 14 in Swallow Mound City, killing the Undying Shrine Genius gave him 1 more and Qi Nyo had given him another 2. And his earth body had already absorbed 2, hence he had 15 left. Let's begin. Luo Feng muttered within. Shwa. The black stone touched the space ring and immediately vanished into his palm, entering his internal world. Internal world. The skies were engulfed in endless gold mist. This vast continent was completely gold, and only the edges were black, and this continuous mountain range was at least 10 kilometers long. Shwa. Other living things that tried to enter would all be destroyed. Whether it was swallowing some life form or materials, all of them would be digested. If he overate and couldn't digest everything, it would bloat the internal world and it would implode. 15 Blood River crystals, mysterious crystals. It's a pity that only flesh and blood life forms can absorb it. The Masha Luo Feng held the space ring, it's too bad that the Masha couldn't absorb the crystals. Rumble. The black mountain range beside suddenly began to move, completely standing upright. This was a beast whose body alone reached 60 kilometers. As for its 4 hoof claws, every one of them were thick. Its thickest thigh portion was 6 kilometers thick, the thinnest parts were 3 to 4 kilometers thick. It was simply like 4 heavenly pillars. Any one claw alone was taller than the Himalayan mountains. As for its cold dark golden eyes, every pupil was like a large lake, like 2 dark golden suns staring down. Terrifying. Even looking at it myself, I find the golden horned beast terrifying. Masha Luo Feng looked up at the golden horned beast and muttered, "The universe has so many forms of life forms. Every one of them can be separated into countless divisions of races and clans. Of all the life forms, the golden horned beast stands above all. Just its physical structure alone holds terrifying strength. This pure brute force could easily kill human warriors 2 to 3 levels above it. Plus its natural talents. Right now it is also training deities of the world. Even if my Masha body meets the golden horned beast, it would have to flee too." Masha Luo Feng muttered. Compared to the golden horned beast, maybe the Masha clan body was better at assassination. However, when facing one head-on, it was much weaker. The golden horned beast was naturally intrepid with its natural abilities, making it incomparably powerful. Howl. The golden horned beast carefully used its spirit energy to control the crystal. The crystal was gently placed on the wound was at least 10 m long. The crystal simply dropped right in and a formless energy swiftly rushed through the golden horned beast's body. Rumble. Kill. Kill. The killing intent rushed into its body. The golden horned beast's willpower was Luo Feng's willpower, condensed and solid, like a blade. This little killing aura didn't even do anything. Chi, red threads of energy poured out from the crystal and followed the slash wound swiftly deep into the golden horned beast's bones and muscles. Immediately a special change began to occur in its right claw. The scales there in the claws began to change, the bones and muscles too began to change. Everything was very familiar. In an instant, it ended. The absorption of the first crystal was a success. What's going on? How can this be? Using his spirit energy he scanned the golden horned beast's every part. He was very shocked. How can it be that only this right claw changed? As for the rest of the beast itself, like its trunk and body, wings, the other 3 claws, tail, head, there wasn't any changes at all. Damn, it can't be. Don't tell me. Standing beside the golden horned beast, Masha Luo Feng looked at the huge mountain-like golden horned beast. Immediately his eyes gleamed. Is it because its body is too huge? A tub of water is enough for one man to bathe. However, it takes an entire river for the golden horned beast to shower. I think it's this theory. The golden horned beast's body is too huge. Its bones, muscles and cells etc. are too numerous. To be able to make everything change, the amount of blood river crystal energy needed must be much more. Hence, one blood river crystal can only cover this right claw. Even the elbow couldn't be reached. Luo Feng had guessed it. Rumble. The golden horned beast waved its right claw, triggering the blood river energy from within. A simple blood red engraving appeared on the surface. Its control of the universe energy itself was clearer and cleaner. Chi. It tore through the sky, causing a 10 kilometers long slash through the ground. It's indeed easier. Within this one claw, its power was raised by 20 to 30%. Make the strong stronger. Let its strength get even more exceptional. The black-clothed Luo Feng placed another crystal into the right palm of the beast. The golden-horned beast's incomparably huge golden eyes stared at the pan, after which it sliced another wound through the scales. Chi! The scales split apart, fresh blood seeped out, once again touching the blood river crystal. Just the right claw, not even reaching close to the elbow. Once everything had finished, the golden-horned beast once again waved its right claw, triggering the mysterious energy. This right claw, compared to before the absorption, its power has risen about 50%. It's exactly the same as the human body absorbing the crystals. The only difference is, the crystal completely engulfs the entire human body. As for the golden-horned beast, it only changed the right claw. Continue. On to the third. Absorbing 3 crystals would allow one to gain the title Blood Warrior. There should be something special. Luo Feng anticipated. The third crystal lay in the palm on the scales of the right claw. With a quick slash from another claw, the scales were slit through and fresh blood seeped out. Once again, the absorption began. The golden-horned beast's huge head looked down at its right claw. While observing, a huge painful change began to occur in its right claw. With the special control abilities of the golden-horned beast, it could completely control and limit the area of pain on its body. At this time, the third crystal had completely vanished and was absorbed into the right claw. Trigger. The golden-horned beast triggered the mysterious energy from within. Immediately on the scales a blood-red engraving appeared. After absorbing the first crystal, this engraving was very simple and small. After the second, it got more complex, it had even doubled in size. At this point after the third, the engraving had gotten much more complex, almost as though they formed one full perfect body. Rumble. Compared to before, the strength has totally doubled. The melding level with the universe laws has also doubled. The golden-horned beast couldn't help but raise its head and howl. Masha Luo Feng had high comprehension ability. When it unleashed its strength, it was extremely strong. The golden-horned beast however didn't have such an ability. Its attack was powerful mainly because of its natural talents and body along with deities of the world etc. And while it had proficiency in law comprehension, in battle, it couldn't unleash the full potential of the origin law strength. But now, with its comprehension to gold and the other laws doubled, even its battle powers had been doubled. Even though compared to the Masha clan's comprehension ability of 10 times, this is nothing. But, it's still very impressive. Comprehension had doubled, and strength had doubled as well. Luo Feng was excited. Absorbing 3 crystals meant one would become a blood warrior. A blood warrior had double the normal comprehension and twice the power during battle. I'll continue with the fourth. The blood river crystal's abilities were simply too heavenly, raising both comprehension and power. Even though every one of them didn't raise much by itself, however added together, it was still pretty impressive. One had to know that the Masha clansmen and other special races in the universe were all races with special abilities. The golden-horned beast relied on brute force. The Masha clan's man was proficient in assassination. And the blood river crystal could raise one's comprehension of all the laws, giving them the feeling of a fish in water. I really don't know how these blood river crystals are produced. The raise itself wasn't obvious, far from the previous 3. On to the 5th. After the 5th, the moment it triggered the mysterious energy, the engraving got more and more complex. Its melding with the universe origin laws and unleashing all rose by a level as well. The 6th. 7th. 8th. Luckily I have enough blood river crystals. The Undying Shrine Envoy gave me 10, otherwise there would no way the golden-horned beast would have 10 to absorb. The black-clothed Luo Feng stood at the side, looking at the incomparably huge being the golden-horned beast as it began to absorb its 10th crystal. If it were a human, absorbing the 10th would make him a black warrior. The Black Warrior in Blood River Continent was a legend, belonging to the pinnacle of humans who had absorbed the crystals. Who knows what will happen to the golden horned beast after absorbing the 10th crystal? Let's begin. Chi. The killing intent attack from this 10th crystal is still very normal, it cannot affect me. It pales in comparison to the core of the whirlpool. The changes in the bones and muscles have already reached a very painful stage. However, I can still bear with it. Ah. The golden horned beast let out an incomparably painful howl. 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 It shook the skies. Damn. The pain made black-clothed Luo Feng kneel on one knee, and the earth-body Luo Feng in the huge pit quarters too grabbed the floor. The pain caused sweat to fall constantly from his forehead, yet he gritted his teeth hard. It's too painful. It's simply. It entered deep into the soul. Howl. Wail. The golden horned beast, as the initial and direct point of pain, had to endure the strongest pain. It couldn't control its body as it flew madly into the skies of the metal continent, crashing about, large amounts of golden mountains crumbling as it smashed into them. The ground had huge 10 kilometers deep craters. As the golden horned beast was in excruciating pain, the right claw had become a pale gold color. The scales seemingly thinner, the tips of the claw too had become a pale gold, as though the tips of those blade-like claws had countless little engravings. Chi. The scales returned to black and the claws returned to its original state, the pain slowly dissipated. Who? Black-clothed Luo Feng stood up. Luo Feng, who was in the huge pit quarters too, let out a sigh of relief. The golden horned beast stood on the ground for a while before stirring. I had known earlier that absorbing the 10th crystal would be special. However, I didn't expect the pain to be like that. Luo Feng was speechless. People with weak consciousness, just from the pain, their souls would have long crumbled and died. Howl. The golden horned beast rumbled and stood up, waving its heavenly pillar-like right limb, simultaneously triggering the mysterious energy within. As it was triggered, the surface scales of its right claws had a huge change. The scales, bones, muscles, claws, and its innermost essence were swiftly changing as well. This was a change that occurred at its very core and essence. Simultaneously, the entire right claw had an incomparably complex and perfect blood-red engraving. It had formed one full body. This. Black-clothed Luo Feng and the earth body were both completely shocked. The golden horned beast looked at its right claw, seeing clearly the unbelievable power coursing through it. It waved fiercely. The comprehension and unleashing of the origin laws is 3 times from before absorption of any crystals. Luo Feng's consciousness could clearly feel the right claw's huge change. This was still within my calculations. However, right now the right claw itself, it actually, had a change in its very core. Normal carbon was formed from carbon atoms. Iron ore too was formed from carbon atoms. A change in its essence, its physical appearance and strength too would go through change. And after absorbing the 10th crystal, that mysterious energy seemed to change the body itself, infusing a special effect, and actually directly changing the essence of the right claw. Not just its interior, but also the scales outside were changed to a pale gold in color. What power! The strength of this right claw can match up to the entire strength of its whole body from before. The golden horned beast gently waved its right claw, creating shockwaves every time. Just how huge was its body? And right now, just the strength within the right claw alone was comparable to its entire body. What idea was that? Natural ability strength, doubles my strength. And the right claw now has the strength of the entire body from before. If I can completely control the full strength, with one slash, wouldn't that be 2 times the full body power from before? The change in the right claw, in terms of strength, is akin to the natural ability strengthen. Luo Feng was shocked. Blood River Crystal. The peculiar and terrifying crystal was not only changing the beast in terms of universe origin laws, but also the essence in its body itself. However, he hadn't discovered them yet. After absorbing 3 crystals, he hadn't discovered it. After absorbing 10 crystals, only then did he realize its terrifying ability. The golden horned beast's right claw itself has to be strengthened at least 10 times, before it is comparable to its full body strength. Luo Feng was shocked. This mission of Blood River World was indeed the right choice. Absorbing 10 Blood River crystals. The golden horned beast's most proficient body strength had doubled. As for the law comprehension and law unleashing, they had increased by 3 times from before. Its entire strength had indeed leapt quite a lot. Continue absorbing. Even that Qi Niu could absorb 12 crystals, my golden horned beast should be able to take more. Luo Feng was extremely excited. The golden horned beast raised its head and let out an excited roar, once again beginning to absorb another crystal. The 11th, the pain was indeed strong, however it was obviously weaker than the absorption of the 10th, not as excruciating as before. After successfully absorbing the 11th, indeed, its law comprehension and unleashing all had risen. The 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Ah, no more. No more, I have no more crystals. They've all been absorbed. I need more crystals. I need more, the more the merrier. The golden horned beast raised its head and howled. The black-clothed Luo Feng too clenched his fists, and the Luo Feng outside in the huge pit quarters frowned. Blood River crystals, I need large amounts of it. But, where do I get them? Huge pit quarters. Luo Feng, who was dressed in a bronze armor, sat on the stone chair and pondered. Qi Niu has Blood River crystals. Even though I can get as many as I want, normal warriors can only absorb so many. Hence, the number of crystals he has definitely has a limit, and I am afraid I can at most get 1 or 2 more from him. Luo Feng shook his head. That's definitely not enough. Then, he squinted, there's only one way. So. A blur rushed into the cloud levels, rushing straight into the 18th level. It was Masha Luo Feng, and beside him a silver-white pyramid appeared. He followed the cabin door into the ship. Control room. Luo Feng, what are you doing? Babata's voice resounded in the control room, why are you using the Masha clansman? So absorbing 15 alone isn't enough. Absorbing 10 alone is that heavenly, so what would happen if you continued on? Babata was extremely excited. Masha Luo Feng nodded, hence, I'll be placing you, the cloud contact vine and all important treasures on the Masha body, including the life core, within this body. Right now the only thing left in that huge pit quarters is my Earth-human body. Even if it meets a tragedy and dies, it's nothing. As long as the core was undamaged, even after the 3 bodies are destroyed, they could be regenerated. What you are doing makes sense, leaving the core in the Masha body. In terms of survival, the Masha body with this automaton ship is indeed much safer. Babata admitted, what are you preparing to do now? Hunt. Blood River continent favors the strong, and all these worlds within, all contest each other. Every day large amounts of humans die, every year many domain lords die. What I need to do is to secretly hunt a few domain lords. I won't kill too many either. Since there are tens of millions of worlds in this continent, with thousands of places controlled in each world, I just have to kill 1 domain lord each. Hunting close to 10,000 domain lords all over the entire continent wouldn't even be anything. Marshal Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with excitement. From one domain lord, I can on average get 1 crystal. This way, I can get close to 10,000 blood river crystals. I believe that this is possible. This close to 10,000 crystals will be enough. Marshal Luo Feng said softly. Haha, vicious. Close to 10,000. Haha, then do it. This is too thrilling. Hurry and leave, use your universe's strongest assassination clan power. Babata too had been infected by the excitement from Luo Feng's explanation. Hunt. With the entire Blood River continent's countless worlds as his target. Secretly hunting, undetectable. Let's go. Marshal Luo Feng ordered. So. The automaton ship resembled a meteorite and swiftly flew in the space outside the world. Blood River Continent, Jianyu City, this was an ancient city more than 1 billion kilometers away from the edges of the ancient god ruins. Jianyu City Leader's Mansion, walkway outside the entrance. You dare to challenge me within my own territory? You are looking for death. Even if you regret it now, it's too late. The green-skinned man with cold eyes, dressed in armor sat high on a 10 m tall grasshopper beast. He gazed down and ordered, give the order, bring that Maji family leader here. City leader, that little Maji punk is very arrogant. He keeps butting heads with you my lord, he should die. However the Maji family is huge. Hence, it's hard not to have a proud disciple, there's no need, beside, a cloud-level general in armor said respectfully. Pa. So. From the crumbled building a silhouette flew out. It was the pale general who was spitting out blood. He knelt down respectfully, city leader, I'm wrong, I know my mistake. Remember. Jianyu territory is my territory. The cold gaze of the man swept below. Whoever I say should die, should die. If you dare question me again, it won't simply be this whip. Understood, understood. The general was extremely terrified. Go, and destroy the entire Maji family. If he has to blame someone, then he can blame that punk. My mood was good today, but it was completely destroyed by that little punk. He should take a look at himself first. Something so insignificant, yet he dares to provoke me, I'll destroy their entire family. It is as simple as killing a little bug. The man sat on his grasshopper, ordering the group below him before entering his city leader's mansion. And that general had just stood up. General. The rest looked at him. What are you staring at? Hurry and gather the army. We'll go raise the Maji family to the ground. The general shouted. Yes. The Maji family in this Jianyu city ranks at least in the top 10 families. Just because of that one little punk offending the city leader, they are finished. What a pity. How did that Mo Chong youth offend the city leader? I don't know. I heard the city leader dressed up as a normal person and brought 2 guards along the West Juya Tower. I don't know what went on with him and Master Mo Chong, they just clashed. And the young master has always been arrogant, today, it was his bad luck that he met the city leader. With his order, the entire Maji family is over. Pity, pity. Pity my ass, the city leader isn't a good person. That Mo Chong is also a bastard. It's better that more of them die. Who? The black-clothed Luo Feng disappeared without a trace amongst the crowd, invading the city leader's mansion. Within the city leader's mansion, this was a 7-story luxurious palace. A cold-looking man was lying in a 10 m long huge bed. 2 beautiful scaled women with scales on their foreheads were massaging him. Lighter, lighter. Right, like that. The man had his eyes closed, ordering them. City leader, my sister and I spotted a piece of clothing at the colored clothes pavilion. Buy whatever you see, just buy them. Just settle whatever the amount is with the management in the mansion. The cold-eyed man said casually. Thank you, city leader. The two young ladies said excitedly. Life should be this way. Pu Chi. 3 blood-colored flashes, the cold-eyed man stared in shock. Beside his luxurious huge bed stood a black-clothed man, in his hands he wielded a blade and stared coldly at him. I'm dead. How can this? The man felt his life core shatter within. Even though he was shocked, he was still staring, simultaneously his consciousness dissipated. His life of extravagance had ended. How rotten. The black-clothed Luo Feng stood beside the bed. He was looking at the 3 bare naked bodies, his eyes cold, leading such a rotten life, and he managed to become a domain lord. That's simply pure luck. Or should I say, it's because of his background. The bigger the background, the more I like. The bigger they are, the more crystal they may potentially have. He swiftly acquired the space ring from that city leader. 2 crystals. Luo Feng smiled, not bad, it's a good start. After which, he waved his hand and the 3 bodies, including that huge bed, were all kept in his space ring. He was prepared to destroy all evidence. Schwa. Kill 1 person and change the location immediately. He was absolutely cautious. With the competition and killing between each sides of the worlds, wars often erupted. And in these messy situations, a domain lord dying occasionally was a normal thing. And sometimes when the domain lords are killed, their underlings don't even know, thinking they might have gone somewhere to train. In space, in a side chamber of the palace, the one in charge of surveillance over the entire Blood River continent. What is His Majesty Luo Feng doing? Why is he always in that automaton ship, flying all over? Entering for a while and coming out again. How is that a while? It's normally a couple of days each. However, this frequency is too high. Just what is he doing? The group of sector lords in charge of surveillance were all curious, because they didn't understand just what Luo Feng was doing. As Masha Luo Feng was hunting, within the huge pit quarters of the ancient god ruins. Luo Feng dressed in the bronze armor sat there, eyes closed. This speed is quite fast. On average I get 1 crystal every day. The hunting plan till now, has already lasted for half a year. Including last night's haul, that should be 98 crystals. Luo Feng smiled and opened his eyes. Another 2 more, that makes it 100.